interviews, she blew me away. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? You've been such a quiet pupil, and now she just blew me away with her presentation. And so, with a little dedication and hard work, just as I said, in the way you present yourself and the way you communicate, it can absolutely happen. So, she stepped into her role a couple of months ago as customer service representative, hired as a customer service representative with Bank of America. So I won't let her steal her thunder. Why don't you come on up, and I'm gonna let her speak a little bit and tell you her story. Miss Ali, give her a
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Wahida Ali. I was a part of the last cohort. So prior to taking the class, I was working part-time at Dunkin' Donuts and a student in college. But the fees were kind of high, and I was kind of stressed, not really sure where I was going with my life. So I kind of felt stuck, and then I decided to take a semester off to kind of figure things out, but I was still lost. So then my friend told me about the BankWorks program, so then I looked into it and I took the class. On the first day, I kind of wasn't sure what this was going to do for me, because in college I was studying sociology and social work, so I didn't really know like how I would transition into BankWorks. But being in the class, it gave me a lot of hope and confidence in myself, because everyone here, Miss Brown, all the other instructors, they give you a lot of positive support. They give you confidence, they help you, speak up. Like she said, I was really quiet, but by the end of the class, I was speaking up more. Even like standing here today, I would have never been able to do this, but because of the Bank Search program, I've been able to gain confidence in myself and step out and represent myself better. So I'm really thankful for this course, because it got me to where I am today, and now I feel like I'm ready to take on the world. That's pretty much a little sum up of me. So the process, you guys are all probably wondering. So when taking the class, there were like a couple of things that I still needed to get better at, which was eye contact, a firm handshake, the interview questions. Even though you know the answers, it gets really tricky when you're in the room taking an interview, and then they ask you the questions and you're like in this hot seat, because that's the make or break moment, because if you don't make that first impression, then they might not call you back for a second interview or something. So I was really nervous about that, but after doing the mock trials here, I felt very confident in myself, so I was able to, each interview I took, I held my head high, I wasn't nervous, I just went through it, studied my flashcards that I made for the interview questions, and eventually I found my job. So do you guys have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
What's the hiring process like?
So it's very long. I would recommend, when you feel confident, you start going out there and you start looking, because first you have to apply, and then if your resume and stuff goes through, then they send you an assessment online. And on the assessment, you have to answer some questions, and then if you pass the assessment, then they give you a call. And different banks do it differently. Some like to do a phone interview first, and then they call you in for an interview in the store. For me, I got to skip the phone interview because I met with Brian Jackson here. So he just sent my resume to his recruiters, and then they reached out to me via email, set me up with an appointment with a branch manager, and then from there, they basically called me a couple weeks later and told me I was offered the position.
Okay.
Yeah. So I definitely think BankWorks helped me skip a couple steps, because Brian Jackson knew us here, and he knew me from Mr. Moy telling him about me, so that helped me kind of get ahead of everyone else who's just applying without taking the class.
Victoria? Did she answer this?